Good morning, Mr. C-Strong. Do you have a lawyer today? Tell me what you're doing about that.
I'm not able to afford one.
Why not? When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
Company went out of business in February. I've been DoorDashing.
So you are working?
Well, it's not enough to afford. I got my kids. I don't have enough to afford a lawyer from what I make from DoorDash.
How much money do you make a month?
I barely.
How much?
Barely 300.
300 what?
Dollars.
What? A day? A week? You make $300 a month. I don't believe that for a second. How do you eat? How do you survive?
I stay with my wife. My wife.
So your wife works?
Yes.
What does your wife do?
She does assistant at an apartment facility.
How much money does she make a month?
She just started, so I'm really not sure. It's probably been about 3 weeks or so.
Why do the people of Harris County get to pay for a lawyer for you when you don't do anything? How is that fair? Why you get to sit at home, play Xbox? Well, why do the people of Harris County get to pay for your lawyer? How's that fair? You're able-bodied. There's no reason why you shouldn't be working. You need a job.
Yes, sir. I work. I take care of my kids. We just got it.
But you're not taking care of your kids. No. Kids need food. They need clothes. Not just love. They need physical things as well. And if you're not pulling your weight, then you're not helping your kids. Your wife is helping your kids. What conditions did we put on Mr. C-Strong, please? I'm sorry if you don't like what I'm telling you, Mr. C-Strong, but I'm telling you the truth. How old are you? You're 39 and you make $300 a month. That's silly, and it's a shame.
The judge just delivered the ultimate reality check. 39 years old, kids to support, and only $300 a month coming in. This isn't just about setting bond conditions, it's a full-blown life intervention. Now, he's ordered to get a full-time job. Overreach, or the tough love he desperately needs. What's your take?
I work for one out of business.
Then find something else. Do you know that there are so many companies out there that are begging for workers that are willing to pay you $15 to $20 an hour for you to work? Amazon, Starbucks. There's so many other places that are begging for workers because they just don't have enough. I'm not going to, no. I'm making it a condition of your bond now that you get a full-time job. And I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done. But as far as what you get to hang out and do nothing all day, and then I have to pay for your lawyer too? You want a back rub too? No. I will give you an application. I'm going to send it home, and then I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, then life's not going to go well. But it's not fair that we all here, I mean, I might as well just give you my wallet now. That's what we're doing.
And Your Honor, if I may, previously he had a bond condition of no driving because the defendant expressed he had no insurance. So you add and prove that as well, no driving.
I hope you are not driving, Mr. C-Strong.
I was able to get insurance from.
You are supposed to get court approval first before you drive, and you signed.
I got insurance a few days after we left from here. He told me not to drive without getting it.
Deputy Anderson, can you get that piece of paper, please? Sorry, guys. Just momentarily. Can you hand that to him? What does that say?
No driving without insurance approval.
Man, don't play Helen Keller. No driving without valid liability insurance and court approval. Do you want to go to jail? Don't drive. All I'm asking you to do is follow the law, Mr. C-Strong. I don't give out lawyers like it's candy on Halloween, and I expect you to pull your weight. And I don't care if you don't like what I'm telling you, but sometimes in life, someone needs to put you over their knee and tell you this is how things need to go. And you, at 39, need to grow up and pull your weight. Start working. Don't be a bum. Can you give him an application? And we will see you back in 2 weeks. And then can you file conditions, please, that he must get a full-time job, please? Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Good morning.
Mr. Jones, you were wanted out of the state of wherever, probably denial, I don't know. But I have you here now because your lawyer is asking me to set you a bond.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I've never met you before. I don't know who you
Order in the
are.
court.
My primary concern are two things. Number one, will you go back to the jurisdiction that you wanted from? Number one.
Yes, sir.
And more importantly, and most importantly, are you a danger to the community? I know that you're going to tell me that you're not. Everyone says that, right? But what really dictates is how you look on paper, because that tells me who you really are. So I just don't know. We'll go through all that and we'll determine whether, you know, I do know that you have an open evading arrest in a motor vehicle. So you're now charged with a 3rd-degree felony. And so, all right, Amy, tell me about it.
Yeah, he's wanted from St. Lucie County in Florida.
Florida. Oh,
Yeah.
ouch.
He's wanted for a violation of probation for a grand theft of a motor vehicle. We're asking for no bond at this time. For one thing, he picked up this evading of a motor vehicle while on that probation. He has
Is this a stolen car too? Allegedly.
I don't think he was charged with that, Judge, so I would say,
Yeah, I mean,
a prohibited vehicle on the toll.
but we had an earlier case today, same thing, in a stolen car, right? Allegedly, and they didn't charge him with the UUV, but they
Really?
could have.
okay.
So it's intake, I don't know, just these days, it's,
I'm seeing prohibited vehicle on the toll. That's
so
all.
it is a prohibited vehicle?
On the toll.
So
I don't know.
a prohibited vehicle could be a vehicle that
Yeah, it's
has
very,
outstanding
very vague.
balance. That's exactly right. Or no tags or.
What other kind of criminal history he got?
Yeah, he has a scene number.
22 pages. This guy's rap sheet is longer than a CVS receipt. Fraud, forgery, probation violations. He's a walking red flag. Now the judge has to decide, grant bond, or is he too much of a flight risk with a record like this? Would you trust him to show up?
For failure to report and then changing address without permission, I think.
22 pages of priors.
Well, I would say this, Judge, sometimes the one case can take up to 2 pages sometimes, so
Even by that theory.
even, I get cheaper.
He also has misdemeanor and felony willful obstruction of law enforcement officers out of Georgia.
I'm surprised you even got probation, you know? I mean, really, it's you know,
All the charges were trickled down to 2 counts. So there was, all those charges are the exact same charge, and they dropped it to,
22 pages worth of the exact same charge?
it was 19 charges. And they brought it down to 2. They was basically 2 charges, 2 different kind of charges, but 9 charges of each. So
It happened that would garner 19 charges. That's usually something where you have like a mass event, like a shooting, or like,
The probation violation's original charge, which was a grand theft of a motor vehicle, he obtained that motor vehicle by
like false
buying it.
pretenses or something.
Yeah, he tried to buy it with a false pay stub for a false company.
Judge, if I may,
Sure.
Judge, I'm not asking for a PR bond. I'm asking for, even if you consider a bond, a high bond amount that would allow him to go turn himself in. He would have skin in the game. It's a monetary sum that would ensure that he goes and turns himself in. He hasn't messed up in your court before.
19.
I'm sorry. And so it would allow him to at least go present himself while also understanding the risk of losing a big deal of money. So I'd say that.
Whose money? Not his money. What kind of money you got? Doing what?
over each other.
You know, I'd like to afford him the opportunity to post that bond. If you entertain.
Well, the first thing I'd need to know is, out of the 22 pages, what are all those, I'd like a list of like every single charge that he's ever had.
Okay.
I'd like to know the disposition of those charges, because, you know, the problem is, Mr. Jones, is that when you have too much baggage, the more baggage you have, the higher of a flight risk you are, because you know that at some point you're going to have to answer to those charges, and you're going to try to.
But I answer to all those charges.
Well, I don't know that. I know you're telling me that.
I
But
understand, but those, I handled that. That was my first real case, and I handled it.
yeah, I mean,
And some of those with the LTA and stuff, I turned myself in. It was misunderstandings with court dates and stuff like that. And it'll show where I turned myself in like multiple times.
In this case here, you're trying to evade capture here. I mean, so I don't know, I need to know a lot more about you before I were to grant your bond,
Like the current case, I can't speak on that right now. But all the other cases, I turned myself in and I handled what I needed to handle.
Has he ever had a prior fugitive case before? Out of where? So Ricardo, if you want, we can do a deeper dive, or you guys can do a deeper dive and let me know more about him.
Here's the thing, Judge, I don't think it's, here's how this, it would work. I don't have access to the 22 pages. I would love to give you the report by tomorrow. I can do that.
So what we can do is we can ask Amy to print you out the NCIC report. Can you provide him with a copy?
I'd have to stay, if that's all right with you, Judge.
There, at least at the minimum, I know that they'll let you look at the report. So you can look at it and write it down. I don't know if they'll give you a copy of it, but at least you can look at it and we can try to work through to see all the charges of what they are.
Right.
Try to find out what the disposition, but.
I can also go through it and.
Right.
Okay.
But with 22 pages of prior criminal history, I'm going to tell you now, it's a really uphill battle to get you a bond. And if I do give you a bond, it's going to be a hell of a high amount now. In the high five digits, perhaps 6 digits, because I want to make sure that you turn yourself in. And the problem is that I know that there's a hurricane out there hitting Florida. So it's a perfect time for you to give me this kind of excuse there. I couldn't make it there. I couldn't make it here because of this and that. And when here.
Okay. I'll explain some of his options, Judge. We'll go over where we're at and I'll see how he wants to proceed.
Okay. But I'm going to tell you now, if I were to give you a bond, it's going to be in the high 5 digits.
Understood. Judge, my understanding is he already waived on October 8th. And so his pickup date is.
You know what? And I'm going to tell you now, we have at least 3 other people here from Florida. And I think it's Miami-Dade, right? Wasn't it Miami-Dade that we have?
I think so. This one is St. Lucie County.
How far is that from Miami-Dade? So perhaps we can come get them to pick you up.
The judge just dropped the hammer. This bond could top $50,000. And honestly, with a rap sheet like his, it's not surprising. But here's the real question. Should past crimes drive bond amounts, or should each case be judged on its own? Let's hear it in the comments.
In addition to those 2, because I know that we have at least 2 transports that are coming here to pick up another 3 individuals from Florida. So maybe we can get you on that, and they're supposed to be here next week. So if you waive, or you've already waived, so great. So
I'm not trying to run from nothing. I just want to get this over with.
Here's the only other advice I'm going to give you now is that if you do go back, you have to stay in contact with your felony lawyer in your felony case, because if you don't and they think that you've absconded, they're going to issue a warrant in that case. And then the hold that you have here for your Florida stuff, it's going to happen to you over here, because you're going to be over there. And then you're going to get a Harris County hold. So when you do finish up over there, you're not going to get out, and they're going to try to transport you back over here. That is Eileen Bogart is your lawyer over there. So just stay in touch with her to let her know what's going on, and that way they don't overlook you. But okay,
Thank you, Judge.
of course.
Thanks.
Thanks. Can you let Day know that perhaps we can get them on the train transport?